Alright, Pistons fans, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about Killian Hayes' defensive ability. Recently, there was a new stat that came out that really did put a highlight on how good Killian is on defense. And quite honestly, I believe that Killian has the potential to be on the All-NBA defensive team eventually in his career. If he continues to progress on that side of the court and trains and works hard, I seriously do believe that we could have one of the best defenders in the NBA one day in Killian Hayes. But before we get into all of that, please make sure you guys like this video. Today's like goal is 150 likes, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I drop consistent Pistons content here. Now play the intro.
Subscribe to Joe Polo 10.
Is the MVP.
Detroit basketball.
Okay, so let's get to this new statistic that came out about Killian Hayes. Put the image on the screen right now. It says Killian Hayes is top 20 in average pressure on ball handler. So what does that mean exactly? What makes a good defender in basketball? Let's get into that. So my definition of, a good defender in basketball, what initially comes to my mind is two things first and foremost, okay? It's your mentality, what you have up here, and then also what is in your heart and your passion, okay? Those are the two main things for me when it comes to defense. And I will give you guys an example, okay? Patrick Beverley. He's a 6'1" point guard. He's undersized. He has small arms. Physically, he is inferior to a lot of guys in the NBA. But there are a few things that he has that separates him from other guys in the NBA. So obviously, he does have amazing skill, amazing technique on the defensive side of the floor. He constantly stays arm to shoulder length in the right position when going up against specific offensive players. And you can tell by the way that he plays defense that he takes a lot of time studying his opponents in advance, doing his homework to know what type of moves they will make. So Patrick, we know that he has amazing skill on defense, but what I believe is the most important thing when it comes to him and what separates him from everyone else is his heart, passion, and mentality. I immediately think back to that LeBron James play a few years ago where it's late in the ball game is on the line, and Patrick Beverley decides to guard LeBron James. He takes that assignment and says, I will not allow LeBron James to win this basketball game. You will not score over me. And what ended up happening? LeBron tried to shoot over Patrick. Patrick tipped the ball, and then it went out on LeBron, and the Clippers won the game. He had that mindset to where he said, I'm going to go up against you, LeBron, and I'm going to win. And it's not just that play. There are many other times that you can look in Patrick's history against Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard. There's been so many times where he just decides to go take on the assignment of guarding the other team's best player when it's needed of him. And taking it back to Killian Hayes, it just feels like he does have that defensive passion inside of his heart. It feels like every time we play Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks, Killian always has a good defensive performance against Trae. And honestly, just any time when we need Killian Hayes to guard someone, he typically does an effective job at slowing down that other player. So to wrap up my first point, Killian Hayes, he has the mentality and he has the heart similar to a guy like Patrick Beverley. Heck, even in an interview during media day before the season started, he said that in the offseason, he focused on bettering his defensive capabilities when he went back to France to train and get better. So defense is first in his mind, man. Now moving on to my second point, and another reason why I believe that Killian is so good on defense is his physical capabilities. He's obviously a very tall player, 6'5" point guard. He has long arms. He uses both of those things to his advantage, but something else that I would take into account is his speed. Killian Hayes is pretty fast, especially for, a guy being 6'5". When he's guarding these other guys, he never allows them to typically, blow past him. He always keeps up with them whenever they try to use their speed to get past Killian. My next point as to why I believe Killian has been so good on defense is pressure. Simply put, getting pressure on an offensive player is extremely important when you're playing defense. Your goal is to make the other player uncomfortable. You know, in today's NBA, there is no shutting a guy down, okay? There's no way you're gonna guard a man and hold him to 0 points like you could in previous eras. You know, in older generations, you could push a guy if you want to, you could grab his jersey a little bit, you could rough him up. There were things that you could do in the past, you know, with different rules at that time that you can't do in today's NBA. And as a result, in today's NBA, there is no stopping anyone, okay? If you're going up against Devin Booker, you can slow him down, but you won't stop him. But as long as you can get pressure and throw him off of his game a little bit, I feel like you do your job as a defender. And when it comes to Killian Hayes, he definitely does that. He's not going to completely lock down the player, but he will do his best to get him off of his game, get him out of a rhythm. So that's basically everything, man. Killian Hayes, as I said at the beginning of this video, I believe he has the potential to be one of the best defenders in the NBA. Well, I guess I should say on-ball defenders in the NBA. He just has to continue to work hard and develop and stay true to himself. We all want him to develop an offensive game eventually because, you know, with his playmaking, his defense, his rebounding, we know that he basically has everything else except offense right now. So we do want him to develop that area to his game, but defense is still important in today's game. You still need to be able to play at a high level to be successful. And when it comes to the Detroit Pistons, and you look at our history, most of our teams that have been good focus on defense. They play both sides of the ball, and Killian specializes in that area. So Pistons fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank y'all for 5K, and I'm out.